Hey guys, I just want to give you guys a quick overview of everything in the port. This is a fully unlocked account, so if you're just starting, some of these elements of the game will not be available yet. If anyone wants really detailed look at any of these mechanics or any of these portions, tell me. This is going to be a really quick boot camp through everything. So first, we have the ship ports with a list of all the ships at the bottom that we have. Each ship is a different type. Destroyers, cruisers, battleships, aircraft carriers. Each one has a different symbol if you want to know what it is. The triangle is the destroyer. One line through it's a cruiser. Two lines through it is a battleship. And pause plus play button is the aircraft carrier. You can select them there, or if you go to Tech Tree, you'll see how you get through to get any of these ships that are line ships. So these are line ships. They're in white. The text is in white. If it's a premium ship, it's in gold or yellow. The premium ships you can get sometimes from events, from doubloons, from coal, from a number of different resources, but you don't level to them. You can go directly to them, whereas these line ships, you'll be leveling through any of these lines as the flowchart shows. So if you wanted to get to the Samson, you do the Erie, then the Chester, and then the Samson, and then you can go down to the Wicks. Or if you're going down the cruiser line, you can go to the Omaha and then you get to choose between the Pensacola and the Dallas. You could eventually do both, but if you're going to try to get to tier 10 or a high tier, you would want to focus one of them. This is the American line. There are a lot of different nations that you could play. The first 5 or 6 nations are the largest in terms of number of ships, and then some of these other nations or pseudo nations are not really as expanded yet. But they're adding new ships all the time, and yeah. So when you're first starting, you can experiment and try different types of ships and see what you like. The early ships are very brawly. You're going to find that everyone gets in very close. You don't have very much ranged combat, whereas down at the lower tiers, you'll have more ranged combat. But let's go back to the dock. So this is the port. Then there was the tech tree we just went to. Then let's go to equipment for our ship. So here's the equipment tab for our ship. There are what are called upgrades that you can purchase for exchange credits, which are the basic credits in the game. Over here on the top right is the credits. It's one of the 3 main resources, the other being free XP and doubloons. So you have upgrades, and actually this is a really bad ship to pick to show this. Let me pick another ship. Okay, so you have upgrades, and here's one that doesn't have any yet. You can hit the plus sign and then choose between these 3 upgrades. Different ships have different upgrades available in different slots, and then these are special ones that you would have to use coal or some other resource to get. So mostly you'd be using one of these 3. And there are recommendations for each slot. Sometimes it's 50-50 which one's the best one to get. We could talk about that at some point. This is the modules now. You will level, when you're playing this ship, you'll get XP on the ship. You'll be able to use that XP to research these modules, and then once you can research them, you can purchase them and then switch to them. The modules will give you different bonuses depending on which one it is. If it's hull, it'll get you more hull hit points. If it's a gunfire system, it'll get you more range. Propeller one will get you more speed, and the gun one will get you some other turn time or some other advantages. Um, so that's modules. And then if you come over here, there's, well, here's the listing of the armament. You can't change anything there, but that just shows you what armaments are on the ship. This one has HE, AP, and anti-sub depth charges. And then there's consumables, of which you can change the one that's boxed. So you'll see here, these are not choosable. They're inherent to the ship. This one, you could choose between radar and spotting aircraft and fighter aircraft. Fighter aircraft is really good for protecting against aircraft carrier attack. Spotting aircraft is good for, well, as it says, spotting plus increasing your range of your guns. And radar is good for if there are enemy cruisers or ships, destroyers in smoke or behind an island. You can use the radar to be able to see them up to the detection range of the radar. And then here are the signals. Signals are one-time use flags that get expended when you go into battle. So I can select it. It won't use it yet until I go into battle. I can deselect it. And each of these signals give bonuses. I wouldn't recommend using these in co-ops, only in actual normal matches or clan matches or ranked matches. Because you get them very rarely, and though I have a few here, it's taken a while to accumulate that. So I wouldn't waste them on co-op games. Uh, some of these signals make sense for some ships and not others. Some of them can't even be used. Like this one, smoke generator can't be used because this ship doesn't have a smoke generator. There's a button here called Mount Recommended, which will mount all the recommended ones for this ship. Those recommendations are usually quite good, but it will have you mount quite a number of signals, and if you don't want to waste them, demount. That's signals. And then if we go to the next tab, exterior, here are the camouflages. The camouflages used to have bonuses attached to them. With the recent patch, they don't, so they're purely aesthetic. You can get one-time use camos, which as soon as you run out, you'll have to pay the cost that it says up here in regular credits. Or you can get a permanent camo, which you can get either from unlocking special events or from purchasing using doubloons, which are the premium currency. And those permanent camos will permanently be on your ship. And they will not give you any bonuses other than the bonus of looking good or awful, depending on whether you like the camo or not. And then there's flags, which is just another aesthetic thing that you can get. You can put these on, cost nothing, permanent. They don't get you anything. There are like one or two flags that do get you something, but you're not going to get them. I think they're only for super testers or contributors or something like this. Um, okay, so that's that. So now let's go back to port and let me show you the economic bonuses. The economic bonuses are the bonuses that you get for each battle, either for credits, for ship XP, for commander XP. So each ship has a commander that is assigned to it. That commander also has a skill tree that you can uh, work through, and he has his own XP associated with him, which he gets for being in battle with the ship that he's assigned to. The commanders can be moved to premium ships. They can be moved for free. For regular line ships, they can be moved at some cost to retrain them, or it takes time to retrain them. So if you do move commander from ship to ship, know that it's not easy to do if they're regular line ships, the ones in white, but if they're premium ships, you can move them about. Also, what they changed is that you can actually use these commanders for multiple different ship types. So if you do have multiple premium ships, you could actually put the same guy on a destroyer and a cruiser, and he has separate tabs for skilling up. And his number of skill points is universal, so if he has 3 points in cruisers, he has 3 points he could assign in destroyers too. So that's commanders. And sorry, going back to the economic bonuses, you can put a bonus on commander XP or free XP. Free XP is XP that is universal. You can use it on any ship or any commander. So if you're, say, leveling one line of ships and you actually want to switch lines to another line of ships and you don't want to go through every single ship, you can use the free XP to sort of fast track your way. So let's say I was going through this cruiser line down to the Omaha and I said, wait, no, I want a New York. Well, normally I'd have to go back to the St. Louis, make sure that I can go from the St. Louis to the South Carolina and then down. But instead, what I could do is I could use the free XP that I've accumulated, buy out the South Carolina in XP, and then the Wyoming. I don't actually have to buy the ship to go to the next ship unless I needed to actually play it to get the XP for the next ship. You just need to have enough to research the next ship. You don't have to actually purchase it with exchange credits. So let me go back to the port. Okay, so back to these economic bonuses. So if you click on them, you could select there's 4 levels for each of these bonuses. Gray, green, blue, red. The red ones are really hard to acquire. The blue ones actually fairly much as well. I would wait until you're at a high level and are comfortable with the ship and are playing a random battle to use blues or even greens. The gray ones you could use in co-ops, somewhat. I just wouldn't waste because you don't get as much per co-op, so it's not really as useful. Sometimes I'll use the gray credit ones on co-ops, but yeah, so these are the bonuses. You can also get a permanent bonus, which is for doubloons. It used to come with the permanent camo. They've split that into two pieces. So anyone who had a permanent camo had a bonus associated with it. So you could get this for premium credits, which would give you a permanent bonus on top of these that you could do. Um, Usually not worth it unless you're going to be in the ship for a really long time or you want to play that ship indefinitely. You can also get this bonus package from getting a premium ship. So every premium ship comes with a bonus package immediately. Okay, so that's the economic bonuses. Let's move over to let's see. Well, there's the premium shop, which is where you could buy stuff. Then there's the armory, which is where you could use all the different special currencies to get things. There's also often every day a special in commander supplies here in the bottom right, always in the top featured tab. They'll give you something for free every day, um, most of the time. Um, Everything else costs something. So this, for instance, costs doubloons. Be careful, don't purchase it unless you want it. You can get chips here. You can get chips for doubloons. You can get chips for steel, which is a currency that you get for playing clan battles and ranked battles. You can also get a little bit for events and for the dailies, but mostly it's from clan battles and ranked battles. And once you get enough steel, you can buy these ships. There's also coupons, so that if you don't want to pay the full price, there are coupons that they give out every few months for ships. You could use those to reduce the cost. You could also use those to reduce the cost in doubloons of a ship. So if you wanted to buy a ship, come into the armory, buy doubloons from the premium shop, and then come in here, use your coupon, and then it reduces the cost of the ship, which usually is cheaper, but there might be some sales directly which make it cheaper. And then the final resource is coal, which is a resource that you get for just playing any games. You'll get it in containers. And always, when I have a choice, I'll get to containers, but I always choose more coal because coal is probably the most useful resource. You can buy ships with it, you can buy camos with it, you can buy commanders with it, and there's a bunch of other things that you can get. So I usually try to get as much coal as possible, and you can get that with regular games. Here are the commanders that you can get. Some of them are for coal, as I had said. You can get these premium commanders and also for doubloons. These premium commanders both have usually 10 points associated with them already to start, but mostly they come with special abilities, namely like here, this guy has enhanced adrenaline rush, which means that if you spec the adrenaline rush skill, it will be better than it normally is on this guy. So they're basically a little bit better, maybe moderately better than the normal random commanders you get for free. And you can get these for coal or for doubloons. Some of the best ones are for coal. These ones with a gold star are the absolute best ones. The ones with silver star or white star are okay. They have bonuses, but not as many bonuses as the gold star ones. Gold star ones usually have multiple bonuses. So this guy not only had adrenaline rush, but he also had AA gun expert, which is an activatable talent, and torpedo armament expert, which is also activatable, which upon getting some achievement in that game, for the rest of the game, you'll have some bonus. So that's commanders. Then there's containers, which is a thing in itself. You can get there's premium containers. You'll get containers for gameplay for various things. You can also purchase them for the collections, which we haven't gotten to. I'll skip that for now. Here you can get the economic bonuses. You can get the upgrades that I said were, you could get the special upgrades for your ship that cost coal. Here's the signals that you can get for either exchange credits or coal. Camouflages, you can get some permanent camouflages for certain ranked tokens, clan tokens, or for steel. And there's some patches that you can get for doubloons or coal. Some of them you can get for coal. Here's the naval community, and this is where you get you can spend your community points, which you get for playing with your recruiter or your recruits, and in general for participating in community activities. You'll get community tokens, and you can get boxes. You can get some permanent camos here, and you can get actually some premium ships for free. These are guaranteed. These boxes are guaranteed to drop a premium ship. Um, so that's a good way to get premium ships if you don't care about the nation, because they're random between the nations. So yeah, you can get them there. Research Bureau is an advanced thing. I really won't go through it, but if you reset your line, which is an advanced thing, you can get this stuff. You won't deal with it if you're just starting out. I'll put that in a separate video. This was for a trade-in thing that if you had the old style of bonuses, you got some tokens that you could trade them in, but if you're new, you don't have them. Special events, summer days. These are events. There'll be different events. Some of these will be like, for instance, here, there's a separate event token that you can get, and from those event tokens, you can purchase things. A lot of it also is for doubloons, so this is events where they sell stuff, but they also sometimes have event tokens that you can use for stuff there too. All right, so that's the armory. And then there's also the ranks is for ranked battles. I won't get into that. Combat missions, which are basically passive missions that you have always active until they run out. And so each one will have some available times to this mission, which is related to the Kong Godzilla event. Ends in 11 days, it says it here, and you have to do all these stages, or you could do various amounts of stages and get the various rewards. The top reward here is for completing all the stages. These rewards are for completing each of the individual stages. And there's a number of different tabs here for the different types of combat missions. This one's associated with the shipyard that's up right now. This one's the daily, which will always be around. And so you can do a daily. So in your first battle, earn 250 XP. You get 500 free XP, 500 XP, and 1,000 commander XP. And you can get other things like coal and steel, and as well as signals and economic bonuses for doing the dailies. And then there's different tabs here for different events and for different areas of the game. And that's the combat missions. Now, let me stop here for combat missions and go up to where if you click on your name and you go to news, there are actually combat missions you wouldn't by default get unless you go through the news and you click in and accept. So for instance, here in the Godzilla v Kong news bit, you can scroll down and you could select Godzilla team or Kong team. And if you select one of these, it will make available that combat mission. And so you can get all the rewards, and you normally wouldn't get them if you didn't click on these. So I always every day look at the news bits, see if there's stuff that you can click on that is free. Some things that you click on are just them trying to sell something, but sometimes there are combat missions in here that you can click through and get free stuff. Sometimes at the very bottom of some articles, there's also, oh, there's an unlock I don't have. Wow. Okay, well, here you go. This is an opportunity to show you. I can click this and unlock. And now I'm participating in the offer, so I must have missed something and didn't have that unlocked. Okay, and then at the bottom, as of some, also there's a, not this one, but at the bottom of some, there's a button where you could accept and you get some of those community points that I showed you. And yes, I'll go through every one of these more carefully. This is a blast through every element of the game. Video. I'll do slow videos for each of the elements, explain them in more detail. So below combat missions is campaigns, which is a selection-based sort of like combat missions where you have things to do, but you select them. You select the tasks that you want to complete. So I could say I want to do this one, destroy an enemy with the main battery guns. If I select that, I can select up to 3 active at a time, and then I go and I do the mission, and if I complete this task, then I get the reward associated with it, which was 50,000 credits. Eventually, I get stars for completing these tasks, and if I get enough stars, I can complete the final task and move on to the next stage of the tasks. And if I complete all of these stages, I get the final reward, which is usually quite good. In this case, it's 7 days of premium time. In this one, it's a premium tier 6 destroyer and commander. Here's a premium commander, and this one's best American commander in the game. You can unlock for completing this campaign, and this one gives you some permanent camos and bonus packages and some containers as well. So if you can complete these campaigns as you passively playing, they can get you a lot of rewards. Usually, if you don't have premium, you could do 2 at a time actively. If you have premium time, you could do 3. Premium time is something you could get from gameplay, but you also purchase it. It basically just gets you extra XP, extra credits, and in the case of campaigns, unlocks that third campaign slot. And it's timed. It's a sort of semi-subscription, but you can get them from containers. And look, now that we're speaking of containers, here's containers. You can get some containers for just playing a certain amount and getting a certain amount of XP for the day, and you get containers for the combat missions and other things. I should probably do a container tutorial where I show a container and show opening it, but you can get containers and open them, and they give you all sorts of things. And then here's the recruiting station, which is that would track what recruits you have. And the naval battles, which is a clan-based thing. I won't get to that yet. And I believe that is everything that I wanted to talk about in this video. There's a lot of other things, and I've probably skipped through a lot, but we'll deal with that in the next video.